Hello everybody, Xanaphar here, and today I want to announce I am doing episode reviews for the English dub Ultraman Z on my channel. Thank you so much for letting me know you want to see this as a series, so I'm going to continue it with episode 2, so let's get into it. Let's first talk about the characters. Let's first talk about Haruki. So how is he in this episode? Well, pretty good. I really like Haruki in this episode. Haruki learns some things about Ultraman Z, like his homeworld, why he's heel, and everything like that. Especially his age. It's a very funny scene. Something I really like about Haruki being an Ultraman host is the fact he trains. And something I think is very cool and interesting. Yes, we do see Ultraman train, but that's usually when the Ultraman and the human are the same person, like with Ultraman Leo and Algul. Not separate people, like with Haruki and Zen. And that's something I find very cool about Haruki's character. Now let's talk about Ultraman Z. Now I already said this, but I really like the scene where Z displaying everything to Haruki, and I really like how awkward and weirded out he gets with Haruki expecting him because he's older. That's something I just find really funny. I really like the scene where he takes Haruki's advice about closing his eyes and listening to his surroundings to defeat Naranga. I think that's really cool. But can Ultramans close their eyes? Talk about Yoko. Yoko is hilarious in this episode. I like the fact she arm wrestles a guy because he asked her out. I think that's hilarious. And the rule is, if she wins, she don't go out with him. If he wins, goes out with her. Of course he wins. It is just such a funny scene. We also find out she's into older men, and that's something I find very funny. Seems like she has a thing for Bako. And, well, she starts to fall in love with Ultraman Z after he saves her. And I get it makes sense. He's tall, he's handsome, and he's older than her, and she really likes that part. Let's talk about Captain Soga.
You good?
Captain Soga spars with Haruki, and it's a very fun scene. Seems like he's enjoying himself, like he missed doing this. And he does one very hard hit in Haruki's stomach, and then he gives Haruki some advice. And Haruki uses this advice to defeat Naranga. Captain Soga was very fun in this episode, and I really liked him a lot. Let's talk about Yuka. Yuka is very fun in this episode. She is the group's inventor, so she makes a weapon to basically help defeat Naranga so they can trap him because he turns invisible. Let's talk about Bako. Bako finally appears in this episode, and he is the team chief inventor, and he is a very fun character. I really like Bako. I wish I could talk about him more, but he only appears for a short bit in this episode. So the characters in this episode are really good. My favorite in this episode has to be Yoko. She just is so much fun in this episode and so funny. Now let's move on to the dubbing. So what is my thoughts on this episode being dubbed? Really good. Yes, this dub is getting better. I don't know how they did that, but it's getting better. And it just sounds so nice and natural. Sometimes when I watch the English dub, the voice is kind of off-putting or sound a little goofy, but it's not for this case. It's very natural and very fitting for the characters. It's something I'm very surprised by and shocked. There is some new voices, like Bako. Bako's voice actor is doing a great job. I think the voice fits, and it sounds familiar to me. I don't know who voiced him though. I tried to look it up and I couldn't find anything. So if you know who voices Bako, can you tell me down below so I can say it in the next Bako appearance? And we also hear a narrator voice, and he's being voiced by Crystal Savage. He's also in the set to the producer of the dub. Let's talk about the effects. Let's talk about Naranga. It's nice to see Naranga again. I always like seeing Naranga. He's a very cool kaiju. So yeah, and I like his fight scene with Ultraman Z. It's a very cool fight scene. And the miniatures are awesome as always. There's many nice shots in this episode as well. And that's really it with the effects. My criticisms. I really have no criticisms for the episode or the dub, except maybe this is just a nitpick, but when Z is closing his eyes, I kind of wish they dimmed the eyes, because they do that when Ultramans are dead, so they could have done that here. What did I like about this episode? I really like the fact Haruki's corn case get explained why nobody can see it, because it's made out of a certain type of material the humans can't see. That's very funny, and I really like the fact they explained it. Another thing I liked about this episode was how Haruki and Z defeated Naranga, because to me it's a nice homage to Ultra Galaxy made a monster battle. So what is my final thoughts on this episode? This episode is really good. Really like this episode. This episode made me realize how much I miss Ultraman Z because I am so happy by watching this show again for the second time. I really like this episode because you get to see Zet's and Haruki's relationship grow more, and I really like Yoko in this episode. You learn some things about her. She's really fun. This episode is just really good. Well, that is pretty much it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to tell me down below what you think of the episode, and don't forget to drop a like for this video and subscribe. Xanathar is out.